Benny Blanco from the Bronx, Carbon White. I am right back with another football video. And if you're here, you just know that the weekend of football just happened, and we had a mad one, we had a big one, we had almost surprises, we had same old, we had bangers, we had, you name them, we had it all. And especially for this particular video, speaking about the English Premier League. Yes, the English Premier League happened match week 4 or game week 4, and yeah, I think things are shaping up. If people are still dilly-dallying and looking to see where to get started with their season, they'll soon realize that the season is long gone. Yeah, and then you'll start playing catch up. So after the international break, that was a long one. Of course, it's a long one because especially if your country was playing and there were not so good results that came with it. But if there were good results, you'd actually feel like what happened? Like it was a normal break, yeah, because you had some fun, you had some time to enjoy. So that's not withstanding, several matches happened over the weekend, and we are going to go through some of the key ones that happened. So of course, starting off with the early kickoff on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday the 13th. Saturday the 13th. Could have been Friday, but Friday has a good ring to it. No, Friday has a good ring to it than saying Saturday the 13th. So anyway, Arsenal kicked off the early kickoff against Nottingham Forest, and of course, everyone and its dog just knew that Arsenal was going to win this one, or expected, not knew, because in sports there are shockers, so you don't know, you expect. So Arsenal were expected to win this one, and winning they did, rather convincingly, if you ask me. Maybe looking at it maybe from the perspective of what or how Nottingham Forest was last season, it was supposed to be a hard game for Arsenal, but they made light work of Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest coming into this match with a new manager, the former Tottenham Hotspur coach, Ange Postecoglou, after parting ways with their former manager. Who was it? He's okay, one of those times when you want to mention a name and then it evades you, and then right after the recording the name comes up. Yeah, so Arsenal of course were clear favorites in this one, but of course they were or are still plagued with injuries, and then an injury caught up with the Arsenal captain, that is Martin Odegaard, who had to be subbed off in the first half, and man like Ethan Nwaneri came in and held his own. He held the fort, was immense, no drop off in terms of quality, and you could tell that this squad really has depth. When you look at it, really, like Arsenal has a lot of injuries to key players, but still in the game you couldn't even tell that Arsenal are lacking like mainstay players within the squad. So that also notwithstanding, of course Arsenal went ahead through a wonder goal. It's a wonder goal, but still for me that Szoboszlai free kick stands out as the Premier League goal of the season so far. But there was a corner kick from Madueke which was deflected out, and then Zubimendi caught it just on the right spot, on the sweet spot, and you knew that when you get yourself in such a position that it's going to be glorious, and hey, glorious it turned out to be. It reminds me of who Victor Wanyama's goal against Liverpool. Also straight from the corner, headed out, and then he caught it on the volley. And that goal, such goals are really, really sweet. So on the 32nd minute, Martin Zubimendi puts Arsenal ahead, and it was just one-way traffic. This game could have ended with a bigger scoreline than this, but of course, not to be greedy, Arsenal just went out 3-0 winners. So the first half ended in a 1-0 courtesy of Martin Zubimendi, and then in the second half there was an exquisite pass, like a long pass from Calafiori to Eze. Eze was cool and calm with the ball, slotted it in, squared it into the box, and Victor Gyökeres found the back of the net. Of course, I have said it in my previous video that he knows his way to the net. Yeah, and of course the inevitable happened. No one cared about him until he wore the mask. Yeah, so Victor Gyökeres puts Arsenal 2-0 ahead, and of course Ange was a bit stubborn, of course, with the high line and all that. And when you are playing a quality side like Arsenal, when Arsenal was 1-0 down, probably the second half strategy should have been trying to hold Arsenal back from getting a goal early. But he persisted with the high line, and Arsenal got the goal. It was 2-0, and then in the 79th minute, again through a header, Martin Zubimendi again on the score sheet. So two of our new signings scored our 3 goals. We got an assist from a new signing as well in Eze, of course, now recording his first assist for the Arsenal, which was really, really nice for him. And you hope that he also continues to I don't know, gain momentum or gather momentum going forward as the league progresses. The third assist was through Trossard, who also came on for Eze. Yeah, so that win got 2 assists. Yeah, so at the time, that goal put Arsenal on top of the league, of course, awaiting results from other matches. So maybe in the end of this video, I'll give the league standing as it is right now after all the teams have played. Yeah, so the other key match that happened during that day, of course, was Tottenham Hotspur, who ran away away to West Ham United as 3-0 winners. In the 50, by halftime it was still 0-0, and then in the 47th minute, Sarr scored for Tottenham Hotspur, and then in the 54th minute, Souček gets a red card, so West Ham go 1 man down, and they are playing 10 men in the remaining part of the match. Bergwijn scores the second in the 57th minute, and Van der Ven in the 64th minute, making it game, set, and match for Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, living up to their name, Hot Spurs, they have started on a high, and when you compare it really with last season, this is like a big improvement. But of course, you could tell that maybe if a team is down, the only way is up. Well, apart from another team that I'll talk about later on, you find that Tottenham really started the season a bit well this time round. Of course, losing just 1 match to who did they lose to? They have lost 1 match. Yeah, so here Tottenham can only, and of course with Thomas Frank coming into the side, really putting this team and drilling them to his his team, and utilizing available players to be able to play excellently. Most of the time we say play your best players in the best positions so that you stand a chance of getting a result out of it. So Tottenham winning 3-0, keeping the pace, and of course you'll be looking at them in the sense that if they finish top 10 this season, it will be a good season for them. But again, you expect them to even finish a bit higher. But top 10, you're being realistic, because last season they also bungled the league standing. For a team of the stature of Tottenham Hotspur, they should not be finishing 17th in the Premier League, injuries notwithstanding, because also Arsenal had plenty of injuries. Yeah, so the late kickoff in that particular day was Chelsea, who were away to Brentford. And of course, this game had a Chelsea win written all over it, and it was just a matter of time until you see maybe them scoring in one way or another. So at some point in the first half, Brentford went 1-0 up. Of course, Chelsea was controlling the game by that time, but of course, Brentford were making dangerous runs, and they utilized the chance that they got to go 1-0 up, courtesy of Shade, almost in the 35th minute. And then the half ended 1-0 to Brentford. Yeah, and then at some point in time, the inevitability happened, because man like Cole Palmer, cool as you like. I like saying cool as you like, because he made, okay, for me, Cole Palmer is one of those players who make things look so easy, yet they are very difficult. Because if you look at the goal that he scored, it's like, anyone could do that. And then when you watch it in replay, it's like he kind of like what? He doesn't shoot the ball, he finesses. Yeah, it's like, it looks weak, but it's not weak. It's just an exquisite kind of goal. So he puts Chelsea back to level terms, and then it was just one way for Chelsea, because now in the 85th minute, Moises Caicedo scored. I don't know how did he do it. He turned and did he turn and shoot, or he stopped the ball and then shot it? Went in. Chelsea were absolutely cruising. But one thing I didn't like about them is that at some point now, Sanchez started wasting time. And then you're just, at the back of your mind, you're thinking, what happens if you eat a lot into that time, and then within the last minutes you concede a goal? What time do you have to recover that goal? And then, truth to it, minutes are added on. Carvalho scores for Brentford, and it's 2-2. And then now Chelsea are beginning to chase the game, trying to find a late winner. And then the game ended up in a 2-2 draw. Now Chelsea dropping points there, not being able to capitalize on the opportunity that they had to keep pace with Liverpool. Of course, at the moment they are, because the league has not, there is no gap to say that these people have absolutely run away with the league. So because even when the league was starting, we were talking about Chelsea being one of the contenders to the Premier League. So missed opportunity for them right there. And they were coming from behind. So it was supposed to be a resurgent Chelsea doing a madness, winning by hook or crook. And then it ended up in a 2-2 draw. Yeah, so on the same day, Bournemouth beat Brighton and Hove Albion 2-1. Crystal Palace drawing 0-0 with Sunderland. Everton also 0-0 with Aston Villa. Fulham beating Leeds 1-0. Newcastle also winning 1-0 against Wolves. And that wrapped up Saturday. And then on Sunday, there were two league matches. And that is the first one. It was a Super Sunday, of course. The first one is Burnley hosting Liverpool, and then Manchester City hosting Manchester United. So for the first match, that is Liverpool against Burnley, Liverpool ended up 1-0 winners, courtesy of a penalty goal from Mohamed Salah. I don't know. This game, again, just like the Chelsea one, had a Liverpool win written all over it. Liverpool had many chances, because you can see in that match they had like 22 shots. Yeah. So if anyone was going to win, was Liverpool. So you wouldn't actually like say eventually they were lucky to come out with a win, because they could have also won that game with an ugly scoreline. Yeah, if they were a bit clinical and some of the chances going in, you would expect Liverpool to steamroll over Burnley, but eventually they got a penalty in the 95th minute. Burnley getting a red card to Ugochukwu, who went out, and Liverpool maintaining 100% record in the first parts of the Premier League. That's 12 points out of 12, and you can't knock them off for winning. So you can only see the results and accept that Liverpool are absolutely cruising. So the only thing for Liverpool is to watch out, so that some of these things or some of these results, in as much as many people are saying that they were lucky, they hope that the luck doesn't run out. Some say it's the mentality of champions, that they find a way to win. But you could try every possible which way to find a way to win, and then you end up not winning. So Alexander Isak didn't start this one. I don't know if he's going to start in the next one. So it's also a wait and see for that situation. Yeah. So Liverpool remain on top of the Premier League in or during match week, or at the end of match week or game week 4. And then the last match of game week 4, Manchester United going away to Manchester City. So this is one of those City teams, or that you're saying this is the weakest, and you're thinking like, oh, Pep Guardiola could be washed. Maybe he's run out of ideas right about now. The City squad isn't very convincing. Even for the first win that they got of the season against Wolves, they weren't that convincing, but you had some players who were, I don't know, pulling up tree stumps in that game, shining. Man like Reinders was wicked that day. But you look at it really, out of the first 4 matches, Manchester City has won 2, they have lost 2. Yeah, lost to Brighton and lost to Tottenham Hotspur. So you were expecting maybe Manchester United, with the way they have usually been trying to play against bigger teams, that they could also push them. like last season they won 8 matches out of 38. You can imagine. They did not win 30 matches, and they were not able to win like back-to-back matches. But one thing that they did is that they beat Manchester City. So you're expecting that with the new signings in Mbeumo, in Sesko, in Cunha, in who else? The new keeper, but I don't think he started. No, that new keeper didn't start this one. And Manchester City losing like key players, you'd think that Manchester United would capitalize on that and continue with the script that has been the downfall of Manchester City. But on the 18th minute, Phil Foden scores, and someone was saying that don't look down on Manchester City, because when they're facing Manchester United, Phil Foden and Erling Haaland usually turn up for this game, and boy did they turn up. So Phil Foden in the 18th minute scoring, ending the first half 1-0, and then coming on to the second half, Erling Haaland in the 53rd minute, barely just a few minutes after kickoff, he scores, and then in the 68th minute he also scores. And I don't know what Luke Shaw was. Well, Luke Shaw came to Manchester United a very long time ago. So so many years on, you're looking at could there be an improvement on that side that Manchester United should have worked on, because Erling Haaland was just bullying him. He was immense on that side, and a lot of Manchester United fans were very furious about that game. And right about now, people are just baying for blood, not literally, but wanting Ruben Amorim to be sacked. And it was interesting what Ruben Amorim was talking about after the game. Let me see if I can read word for word. Let's see. Ruben Amorim views after loss to City. Ruben Amorim was defiant in Sunday post-match press conference after his side's 3-0 defeat to Manchester City, and made it clear again that he is not going to change his philosophy. Let me see where the quote is. Where is the quote? I want to read it word for word. It's not. I am looking at it from Sky, but there's no place where he is quoted. But it went to that effect of him not changing his philosophy. And then you're thinking, what's the plan here? Because you're clearly not getting the results that you need. So why not change or adapt on a game-by-game basis? So he is still adamant that he's going to play the same way he's been playing. He's playing with 5 at the back and still conceding 3 goals. Remember the game against Grimsby Town, where he's doing what? Playing 5 defenders against Grimsby. So yeah, they lost that match to Man City. I think that boosts Man City, especially heading into a Champions League midweek, and then going away to the Emirates to face off against Arsenal. So they are playing Napoli and then Arsenal. So this would be a very tough test for Manchester City. If they come up with good results out of those two fixtures, then it's also kudos. They could be on the up, you would ideally say. Yeah, so with all of that, what happens now on the table? This is how it stands at the moment. Is that Liverpool are leading with just W's. Yeah, 12 points out of 12. That's 4 wins already, and they play Everton next. Arsenal are second with 9 points, with 1 loss and 3 wins. They play Manchester City next at the Emirates. Tottenham Hotspur, also 1 loss, 3 wins, 9 points, play Brighton next. But AFC Bournemouth, they are 4th with 9 points also, 1 loss. They play Newcastle next. Chelsea fall to 5th with, they have gotten 2 draws so far, but they don't have any loss. But they have 8 points, and they play Manchester United next. Yeah, and that rounds up the top 5 of the Premier League. If you're interested to know where Manchester City are, they are 8th with 6 points. This is not really far off, but half the points that Liverpool have. So they play Arsenal next. So it's until you go to the bottom of